There are two or three things that you'll hear me say frequently around here. One is know yourself. Two is the thing that you want most is on the other side of the thing that you really don't want to do. And three, all magic comes with a price. Well, guess what, Buttercup? All of those apply for today's video. So, if you're ready to be more powerful, have more control over your workings, and be able to withstand longer rituals, then come, let me bend your ear for just a minute. And I'm going to tell you how. Welcome to your North Node. I'm Athena, your modern day priestess bestie, and I've spent the past 15 years just learning stuff from everywhere, all kinds of stuff, because that's what I like to do. And so I've taken all those energy practices and the things that I've learned, and I'm sharing all of those learnings with you. That way, you can get unstuck, get out of your own way, and live life on your terms. So, if you're in a place of transition, or you're seeking spiritual answers to discover your true self, then you are in the right place. Together, we'll clarify and we'll uncover your purpose and the power within you that is needed to navigate your journey. Now, the most successful workers, witches, mages, shamans, occultists, whatever you want to call them, whatever name you want to use for yourself, those are the ones who have a robust meditation practice and a way to replenish their energy. They understand that without a way to recharge their power, their endurance is going to start to fade, right? So as magical as you are, you're still human. So if you want to stay effective, balanced, and resilient in your practice, you need a way to refuel. Self-care is a form of self-love, and mastering it is a skill that will continue to serve you wherever you go. Just as self-care is foundational, so are the first small steps you take into magic itself. Some of the very first ways many people approach magic is by a simple candle ritual, and it's imbued with their intention. This type of low magic solution is powered by the practitioner's own energy source, and it's usually driven by a burning need or desire. And these types of ritual solutions, they're so practical, and they are useful no matter what stage of practice you are. However, as you open yourself up to more magic and you grow in your abilities, you will find, just as in life, the same magic that got you to the level you are currently at will need to evolve in order for you to experience the next level. Energy work relies heavily on our own life force to create the results that we seek. And without careful energy management, you can easily wear yourself out. You may have seen some practitioners, and especially those who invoke spirits on deities or the ones who do workings for a living, and they'll use mass stores of energy, and then they often need a few days afterwards to recover. When your energy is drained, it can take days to bounce back unless you have a way to recharge yourself faster. Enter Reiki. I want you to think of Reiki as the TSA pre-check with global entry program of the spiritual world. Sure, you can stand in line and go through long processes to contact the energies or entities that you wish to commune with, or after a not so brief background check, you can just glide right on through. With so many types of Reiki available today, it's really easy to find one that suits you. Now, traditional Usai Reiki, while some may see this as an outdated technology, it is the foundation of all other forms of Reiki, and it's just as powerful as it ever was. Reiki is an energetic self-healing method which balances the body's chakras and energetic flow. Some learn it to enhance themselves, and others learn it to provide it as a service. Either or both is absolutely fine and all up to you. Now, once you experience Reiki, your eyes become open to a whole world of energetic possibilities. This is why I call it the gateway drug. Can I say that on YouTube? One taste of Reiki and there's literally no going back. I personally find Usai Reiki to be a very gentle and calming type energy. It's very useful for maintenance of the subtle body energies, for balancing your mood, and also for temporary relief of low-level discomforts. It's a versatile technology and it's a supportive practice for any stage of your spiritual journey. So why recommend Reiki before getting started as a practitioner? Because the initiation opens you up energetically and spiritually. It's akin to having a spotlight put on you, and it makes receiving information from the spirit realm and other dimensions easier to hear, and it also allows you to send information more quickly than if you were uninitiated. Now, to be clear, whether you choose Reiki or not, you will need mastery of some sort of self-replenishing healing energy practice. Okay, and I'm 10 toes down on that one. That's just the way that is. Reiki requires no belief in any specific deity or adherence to any specific spiritual systems. And then after the first level of initiation, you have everything that you need to keep yourself in alignment. This is something that you do for you, unless you want to go on to provide the service, but this is really for you. Your intuition, your focus, and your energy, mastery of those three things, those are the building blocks of spiritual work, which is what makes Reiki such an ideal initiation point. Now, additionally, Reiki chakra knowledge and energy practices overlap with many other spiritual systems. So that's just going to serve you wherever your journey leads. Reiki attunements naturally open up and enhance a practitioner's intuitive faculties, which means that helps you to tune into your own energy and know what it feels like. So this skill will become invaluable, especially for those of you who identify as empaths, because you'll be able to easily determine what is you and what you're picking up from the world around you. Knowing what's you and knowing what's external makes it so much easier to shield yourself from unwanted parasites who are attempting to hitch a ride on your energy field. Okay? Protecting, cleansing, and grounding. Other than meditation, these are the most essential and also the most overlooked requirements of a solid magical foundation. Before you perform your first ritual or do your first working, you need to know how to clear, how to ground, and how to protect yourself. Failure to do so is just pure folly on your end. That's like, parking in a bad neighborhood and leaving the keys in the car with the car door unlocked. Once you enter the spiritual realm, other entities will sense your presence and they're going to know you are there. And this is whether you are aware of it or not. So it's better for you to be ready before you start traveling, right? Now, on to cleansing. One of my mentors always said, a little Reiki every day is better than no Reiki at all. And even a brief daily sweep is more effective than waiting for a grand cleansing ritual in which you may have other things weighing you down. So consistent cleansing helps to keep you balanced and ready. Grounding. Despite our best efforts, there are sometimes storms or tower moments in our life. And it's during those turbulent times that Reiki can help keep you stabilized and grounded. Your self-Reiki practice can become your very first line of defense when there is nothing left for you to do, when you've done absolutely everything you can, and the only thing left is for you to just batten down the hatches and weather the storm and wait for it to be over. Over time, you'll also find a regular self-Reiki practice will strengthen your other daily grounding techniques. Reiki is also an effective tool for strengthening your energetic boundaries. So by channeling Reiki energy, you can build and reinforce your natural energy shields. With consistent practice, Reiki can become an additional layer of armor, helping you feel more secure and resilient as you go about your day. Reiki's worst kept secret is that it is not just for healing. Reiki is also about spiritual expansion. And this expansion is a gateway to perceiving spirits, guides, and energies from other dimensions. The attunements you receive during your level 1 Reiki initiation, those act as a frequency adjustment, which makes it easier to connect with those frequencies beyond the physical realm. So every time you work with Reiki, you strengthen this connection to other realms, which opens doors to insights and guidance that go beyond this physical world. In this way, Reiki becomes not only a healing practice, but a path of inner discovery and a way to explore all of the vast unseen dimensions around you. And I know some of you may be saying to yourself, well, I've seen the Reiki symbols online. I can just meditate on them and align myself with those frequencies, and bada boom, bada bing, Bob's your uncle, I'm good to go. And on that, I will say, especially concerning Usai Reiki, those symbols were never meant to be in the public domain. While Reiki is open to everyone, one of the teachings is the symbols are not to be on display. Reiki is not a system where you can self-initiate. However, if you take the time to properly choose the correct mentor, there is value in being able to consult with your guide, your teacher, and having someone to support you as you go through the different evolutions of change on your Reiki journey. So long story short on that part, your initiation must be completed in person by a Reiki master. Some things are just done the old-fashioned way, and there's nothing wrong with that. As one of my other mentors once told me, he said, no amount of technology will substitute learning from the teacher's lips to the student's ears. And he was right. There are things that happen in person that simply do not translate to online. Little elbow nudges, certain nods, certain, just little things that people say that they will edit out, right? And it's that old adage of you just had to be there. And this is never truer than when it comes to initiations. And since we're speaking about initiations, on a side note, you can't get initiated online with most spiritual traditions. So I'm talking practices like your ATRs, your shamanic paths, things like that. There is no complete online initiation process. You may be able to start your studies and your learning online, and then you'll travel to finish and do the actual initiation portion. But if someone is telling you that you can complete your initiation online and never see anyone in person, run. You in danger. So, Reiki, I'm just calling Reiki a gateway. It's a portal, if you will. It's the opening up of the world of energy work, self-discovery, and spiritual connection. And it's a practice that not only helps you heal and recharge, but also invites you to explore dimensions within yourself and beyond. So, by building foundational skills like cleansing, grounding, and energetic protection, you're setting yourself up for a resilient, powerful practice. And remember, while Reiki is open to everyone, it's a path that calls for a fair amount of commitment, especially in the beginning. But once you have those downloads, those initiations, they're yours forever. They'll always be there. So just, if you feel drawn to it, then make sure you find the right teacher. Ask questions beforehand, see what their support is going to be like afterwards. Talk to some of their students who have already taken the class and see, what their experience was. And as you grow, you'll start to see that Reiki isn't just a tool. It's like a lifelong ally in your spiritual journey. Even if you step away from it, you'll find yourself coming back to it again and again. And it's one of those things that just continues to evolve with you. Okay, so in the comment section, tell me, what was your energetic gateway drug? All right, thanks so much for joining me. I will see you all again next time. Okay, are they gone? I got a story time for you. All right, y'all. Look, since you guys stuck around to the end, okay, I'm going to tell you a little story about how powerful Reiki is. Okay, so look, I used to have this body contouring clinic, right? It was really successful. And one of the things that I also offered holistic wellness services. So I had this lady come in and she wanted to do a Reiki session. Okay, cool, no problem. And her chief complaint was lethargy. She was just tired. She was worn out. She was running herself ragged. She was working long shifts. I forget what she did, but she was working long shifts. She wasn't sleeping well at night, so she couldn't get to sleep. And then when she finally did get to sleep, she couldn't stay asleep. And she just wanted to sleep. She kept saying how much she wanted to sleep. And she was saying, she'd been running around all week. She couldn't get any sleep. And poor girl, poor lady, she was over it. So I was like, okay, cool. We set up for a session and we agreed that this was going to be like a restorative session for her to, try to reset so that she would be able to find some relief when she went to sleep. So that when she got to sleep, she would stay asleep and then she would get to sleep more easily. So after I finished her session, I let her know to take her time getting up and to leave the room ready. But she didn't respond, but that's because, she had fell asleep halfway through the session. Yeah, no big deal. It happens all the time. So I left to go get her a glass of water, right? Well, when I returned, she was still fast asleep on my table, y'all. So, okay, no big deal. Like I said, most of my clients, they fall asleep during session. And, some of them take a minute to come on background, right? So I call her name. I kind of shook her a little bit, but she wasn't waking up. So I was like, all right. I kept the lights dim. I kept the music playing, and I had an actual body contouring client who was coming in. And so I went to go attend to my next appointment, right? So halfway during the appointment of the second lady, I was like, you know what? I need to go check on the first lady. So I went over to the other room to go check on the first lady. Y'all, she is still snoring on my table. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind, right? Because I didn't need to use that other room. And so I didn't mind, but I was like, well, what if she has something else she's supposed to be doing? And she just in here just having a whole afternoon siesta, right? Oh man. So okay, I tried to wake her again, but it wasn't happening. So I went back to my other client and I completed the session for my second client, right? So just as I leave the room for my second client, I hear all this ruckus in the first room. And I go over there, poor lady, she had startled herself awake. This woman had slept for nearly 2.5 hours, y'all. But unfortunately, she was now an hour late for work. On the bright side, though, she said that she hadn't slept that well in months. And, I did feel a little bad because she said she wanted to sleep and I wanted her to rest. So, moral of the story is always keep a spare pair of socks in your car. Thank you so much for the honor of your time today. And remember, do no harm, but take no shit. Until next time, peace between us.